and go.
Hello, and welcome to our podcast. This is episode 0, so it's just us talking about why are you doing this, what is our goals, what is the whole process of this podcast being created, and us coming together for this. And I'm here with Brian Rosemer.
Hi, everybody. That's me.
If you want, please introduce yourself and say who are you, why are you doing this, and basically how are you related to Anglistic?
All right. Well, I guess we could start off simply by saying, again, I'm Brian Rosemer, and I work at the University of Bielefeld, and I am one of the academic advisors specifically for the British and American Studies program. And what I'm hoping is that we have in this podcast a tool, a source of information for people coming into the program or who have been in the program for a while so that they can get some better information than, let's say, the rumor mill or other places where students tend to find information as accurate or inaccurate as that information is. So my hope is that we're able to provide not only some interesting, entertaining content, but also some information that'll help folks along their path through Anglistic.
Thanks. And I guess I should also introduce myself. I'm Leon Dollersche. I'm a student of the University of Anglistic. I've been studying for a couple of years already. And I've, I would say, not worked, but it's at least done stuff with you from a couple of times, had classes with you, wrote essays sometimes, or wrote papers with you, and just like talked to you a lot throughout the years, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And first of all, I mean, what exactly gave you the impetus for this show? Because I'm going to admit, folks, right here and right now, as much as I think this is a fabulous idea, I cannot accept any of the credit for this coming to fruition. Certainly not in the conceptual phase. So, what got you started on this, Leon?
I think it all started before Corona happened, because there were a lot of classes, especially from your colleagues, Jessica Koch and Tilse Bucher, that had, in the last couple of minutes of the class, just a blank space where students could talk about whatever they wanted to the lecturers. They could mention a topic, they could mention a talking point or something that they didn't get or something that I really want to discuss with the class. And the lecturers allowed that and said, yeah, talk about it. And I'm going to give you my input and you can give your input. And as soon as Corona happened, a lot of those like blank spaces to talk about, you could talk and got lost because of online seminars. And I really missed it. I missed the input lecturers could give about topics and the communication between students and lecturers. So I thought this would be something that could at least in some way get revived via a podcast where lecturers could talk about stuff and students maybe could say, could you talk about maybe this topic or this discussion or this event, because I want to hear what your opinion is and I want to hear what you think about these events.
Absolutely. I mean, it'll be nice eventually when we've got everything up and running. The students at British and American Studies have their own Discord server where they could be sending questions that we can talk about and try to answer here. We'll have our own email address where people could send in any kinds of questions or topics they want to hear us talk about. And maybe just to get back to the structure of this whole thing. I mean, right now it's Brian, it's Leon, but the idea is to have other folks involved as well. Correct, Leon?
Yes, correct. We already talked to a couple of lecturers that said they would be interested in working with us. Some of them want to appear already, but the problem was like time schedules didn't overlap, or it didn't indeed overlap, and it just didn't work out. But they want to appear at some point, and they want to talk about topics that they're interested in at some point, and maybe that we're interested, or other students are interested. And I really hope that whenever we talk about a certain topic or a certain part of the university or maybe of the Anglistic Studium, that lectures that are closely related or intertwined with those topics or with those study programs can talk about things they do or that they teach. As an example would be linguistic and a professor from the linguistics, or a BM1 professor or a lecturer, which would be you, correct?
I'll take that. Sure. And I think, at least from my side, I would also want to see some more students involved, especially if we're talking about, I don't know, study programs and kind of the questions that go on in people's heads when they're either starting their program or when they're somewhere in the middle wondering about different parts of the program, whether it's, which courses they have to complete, which exams they should do, what kind of order they feel like they should be doing those things in. I feel like that would also be helpful for everyone involved. So we want to answer those things, and of course, as we said, provide some entertainment. We're working on stuff for entertainment purposes. We've been discussing bits, but we don't know what our bits and things are going to be exactly yet. We're in the conceptual phase, but certainly that's the idea that we've come to at this early stage.
Yeah, we have our Google Doc with all the points that we want to address at some point, or possible meeting dates and possible topics and all bits. It's it's getting bigger.
Yeah, and so we're gonna have to try and bring some of those ideas to fruition. B, maybe rein ourselves in to a certain extent and do what's manageable and realistic. But that's the basic idea. So welcome to everybody. Welcome to all those persons of quality out there listening, and we hope to be able to discuss all of these interesting ideas and conceive even more ideas in the near future together with you as time goes on.
Yeah, as you said. Do you want to talk about what possible things or what possible topics are that we could talk about in the future, or do you want to leave that for another time?
We could probably leave that for another time. Let's. Perhaps one thing we should mention, and maybe we cut this out, maybe we leave this in. But maybe one thing we can mention for at least the immediate future is that we want to put something together, especially for first semester students, for the upcoming How to English Week in the first semester of their studies, starting in summer 2021. So that they have a little bit more information, something that they can work with as they begin their studies.
Yeah, true. This is basically why we are recording this right now, because the How to English Week is in a couple of weeks, and we need to produce it at some point if we want to get it out before all of this happens.
Absolutely. So time is of the essence. So with that in mind, perhaps we should get down to it. And we'll move into the next conceptual phase. But here we're just dropping you a little bit of a, what do we want to call this? A little clickbait, something along those lines.
For the teaser?
Yeah, teaser for the upcoming podcast to come.
Yeah, and I think those that are interested in the How to English Week and how the whole study program works can listen to the next episode at some point, depending on when we are going to record that part.
Absolutely. So I think I've run out of things to say at this point, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this develops in the future. Totally wrapped up and at full attention for how we can develop and, let's say, be creative here in this particular space.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing that's left to say until next time.
Absolutely. Until next time, everybody, and stay healthy and safe out there.
Bye.